It's always great catching up with my next guest, Brandon Royval, who's back in action, UFC 274, May 7th. He's going to be taking on Matt Schnell. Brandon, how's it going, man?
Getting yourself?
No complaints. Good to see you back in action here. It looked like you got a full camp. When did you find out about the fight?
I asked about the fight pretty much. I saw McMaynard at the UFC in Houston, the one that Matt Schnell and Alex Perez got pulled out of, and I was just like, hey man, I'm ready to fight this week, man, next week, whatever it is, I'll just make weight. So I was hoping for a quick turnaround. It ended up being like a little bit of a camp. So pretty much like I think 2 weeks after my fight. So really quick on, honestly. But ended up getting a full camp for it, which is a little bit of a bummer, but the division still needs to kind of even itself out a little bit. So I guess I wasn't too big of a rush.
Yeah, no, and it seems like an opponent you might have wanted as well. I know you and Perez know each other, decently. I know he's trained with you guys in the past. You must have been pretty familiar with Matt taking this fight.
Yeah. I mean, I've been familiar with Matt Schnell for his career and just, he's on a cage. I've been watching Matt Schnell for a long time now, I think about it. So I've been familiar with him pretty much his whole entire career. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I mean, it wasn't like the matchup I was like trying, like dying for or like looking for specifically. I obviously wanted to fight someone higher ranked than me and work my way up. But I knew I want to have to pay my dues a little bit in the UFC. I feel like I've been getting nothing but just like ranked higher opponents than me. So it's like I had to pay my dues, and just also I was just trying to kill for a spot on a card that has a crowd. So it's like that's the only thing that really mattered to me, and that's something I want to get off the bucket list. But also it's just like I need that experience. So this will be my first time fighting in front of a crowd, and it's like I was getting to the point where like my first time fighting in front of a crowd is going to be for like the UFC belt. So it's like. I need that. I need to get my feet wet. I need to get in front of a crowd, and I need to get that experience before I go out and take out the next top 5 of the division.
Let's talk about your last fight. You got that win over Bontarin, maybe a little bit closer than you wanted, but how did you feel about that performance overall, going the distance in that fight?
It's probably my least favorite fight. So one of my least favorite fights in the UFC. I thought it was kind of a boring fight. I thought he did a really good job at like negating what I do well and just try to slow me down. But it's like, I hate fighting guys like that. I hate fighting guys that are just trying to like neutralize and not win a fight. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like when you fight guys like that, it's just like, do something, bro. Make something happen. It's like, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a fighter. I wanted to go out there and whoop someone's ass, be a highlight reel and, or put people on highlight reels. I wasn't trying to be a part of a boring decision of him just trying to hold on for dear life while I was trying to make shit happen, and sometimes you fight those guys and it's like, I didn't expect, I knew a little bit, but I didn't expect Bontarin to just try to lay and pray his ass off. So it was just one of those, like, I was frustrated. I fought the way I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight super technical in that fight, or just a little bit more technical than I normally do, but I don't know if it paid dividends that, but I think maybe just throwing some fire at him would have been fun and maybe caused a little bit more of action than what happened. Because, like I said, I thought that was just a little bit of a boring performance, man. And I thought it was boring between both of us. And I thought it was mainly him just being boring. But, I go out there excited. You've seen me fight. I try to go out there and, pull people out of their seats and, be remembered after the end of the fight, And it was one of those fights that I was like, it was all right,
Well, I don't think you'll have to worry about that with this matchup, right? You must be pretty excited because Schnell's the guy that's going to come forward. He's going to stand and trade. Is this the type of matchup that excites you after what happened in the last fight?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's perfect to just get out in front of a crowd and go have Matt Schnell in front of me, who I know is not taking a step backwards, or at least just trying to fight. He's going to try to fight the whole entire time and look for a finish. And he's well capable of getting that done on the ground and on the feet. So it's just like one of those guys that I'm like, all right, cool. Like, we got an actual fight going, and it's enough to wake me up out of bed and all that stuff. So it's perfect, man. And Matt Schnell is like, I think he's probably one of the more technical people in the top 5 or the top end of the division. I think it gets a little bit crazy once you get towards those guys. The top 5, they're a little bit more like just chuck things to the fences, like Moreno and Figgy and Pantoja and all them are just kind of chuck it, where it's like Matt Snell's gonna be a little more methodical and all that stuff, where it's like I do really well against those kind of opponents. I do really well against a thinking opponent, and it's like I think it'll be a good chance for me to highlight what I do really well, and honestly just go out there and be in a fucking fight in front of a crowd, man. I haven't fought in front of a crowd in almost 3 years, so it's like just want to embrace all that, and just take it all in and just be a UFC fighter for once, and not one of those like I don't know, the
closed caption fighter. There's no crowd, right? I know it must be so weird. So
yeah, it's super weird. So it's just like I don't know. I'm gonna be nervous in front of a crowd, but I just can't wait for it too, man.
Anything different for this camp? Seems like usual cast of characters. Like Jonathan Martinez, Chris Gutierrez, Yusuf Zalal. Who are you mainly working with going into this fight?
Me and coach have been getting a lot of one-on-one time. So Mark Montoya has like just been a blessing this camp in the last couple camps, man. It's just been great with what we're working on, what we're trying to adjust to my style, and also just not taking away from the chaos that I am too, you know. So it's like polishing some stuff up, but leaving some chaos out there, and I think that'll pay dividends for the Matt Schnell fight. But my main training partner, I know you probably hear me say this all the time, but Clay Matza, man, he's my main training partner for every fight, and he just does such a great impersonation of Matt Snell, a great impersonation of Figgy, what the fuck's that kid's name? Kai Car France, and like
Yeah.
Bontrain. He does a great job on all of them, and just does breakdowns. He's an MMA nerd, man. So I'm blessed to have him in my corner, man, because he's great.
Weight cut's going well. I mean, you never miss weight. I'm sure Matt. That's part of the reason Matt probably wanted to take the fight. Is that, hey, I know we'll be good. Brandon always makes weight.
I know. I'm more worried about on his end about everything. It's just that when I took the fight with Matt Schnell, one of the UFC staff goes, "Oh, you're taking the fight with the curse dude," and like they're just saying like that his fights never end up happening, you know. And I got immediately worried, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get injured or something crazy is gonna happen." But everything seems like all the omens seem good in the air. Weight cut's going fine. I just started cutting some weight. I just started minding my diet. I've been having like weird diets for the last couple of years. I have psoriasis, which is like a small autoimmune disease. I don't have it bad or anything, but I've been messing with my diet. I've been like all meat diet for a little bit and all that. So I'm just came back from trying a bunch of weird different diets, and now I'm back on my normal Tyler Mitten nutrition diet where I can get back on weight and all that good stuff. So yeah, I've been having fun trying out different things and all this stuff.
Interesting. When did you do the all meat diet? The carnivore diet is what I hear they call it. Because I looked into that a bit, and it's interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, I've been on it for probably like a little bit of the last year, but I had this autoimmune disease like that psoriasis, which is an autoimmune disease. I feel like when you say autoimmune disease and then you compare psoriasis to it, it's like the very bare minimum of it. But I've had psoriasis, and I just didn't really know how to get rid of it. I went to a doctor, and they gave me like a bunch of creams and stuff and like a bunch of things. And I didn't really do too much research on it. I was just like, all right, cool, it's gonna go away, thinking it's like ringworm type of shit, you know. And none of it really went away, and actually got kind of worse. And probably like a year ago today, like around a year ago today, because it's Ramadan, and all like my Muslim friends, we have a bunch of Muslim people on our team that are fasting, and I was reading Siddhartha, and you know, and like Buddha, like in Buddhism, they fast pretty heavily, and I was like, all right, let's just. And then I watched that Joe Rogan podcast with GSP, and he was talking about his autoimmune disease where he fasted for 3 days. So I was like, fuck it, let's just fast. I fasted for 3 days, and my psoriasis has disappeared, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, it disappeared completely.
Okay,
I have like
cool.
a fair amount of patches, you know, like so for it to disappear completely is like a big deal. But went away, and I was like, oh, it's something I'm eating. Like that's immediately what came down to the conclusion. So I've just been trying to do like different diets and see. And I heard about the carnivore diet, and that's probably like my favorite diet so far because you're just eating a bunch of meat and it's just bomb food. I eat bacon and all that stuff, but it like almost completely deteriorates my or gets rid of my psoriasis. It's just I don't really know. Like me trying to manage my weight cut and then fuck around with diets is too much, you know. So I go back to what I know and all that when it's time to cut weight and peak in camp and all that stuff. So I have energy and all that stuff. But the carnivore, it's been fun. It's fun. It's really tasty. It's been my favorite diet. I have to keep up on salts, but I don't know. It's different, but it helps psoriasis a lot.
That's interesting. Good to know. Good to know. Because I started looking into it myself. I've even tried like the liver and all that stuff. Like it's interesting. Yeah, you know, because they say there's a lot of nutrients in certain meats that you don't necessarily need to get from plants. In case people are wondering, right? Is what I've been reading.
Yeah. I think after this fight, I'm gonna try to do like the opposite diet and just go like all plant based and see what happens. But I hear like nightshades and like certain type of vegetables fuck up your psoriasis too. So we'll just have to experiment because I've been kind of having fun with it. I don't really have anything. Not in the UFC. It's just might as well fuck with my diet and figure some shit out with my life a little bit too, you know. So it's like I'm not working a crazy amount of hours or anything where I have to like be managed at this time at this thing, you know. So give me a little bit of time to fuck around.
Cool. How's this fight playing out on May 7th? How do you envision it going down?
Chaos, man. At least I want to create chaos, man. I haven't fought in front of a crowd in years, so it's like I just want to fucking be a beast, you know. I want to go out there and be my old self, run across the rink, and just be crazy, you know, and see what happens. And then we'll let Matt Schnell be technical and do all of his cool technical stuff, and I'll just go out there and be a fighter and just see what happens and throw shit at him and see what sticks, see what doesn't stick, and just see where it goes from there. But my kind of my kind of plan for this fight is just to kind of let loose, bro, and just go be a beast. I think Matt Schnell's good. I think he's probably has a little bit more technical aspect than me, and which is cool. It's just like I think I'm more of a fighter and I'm more of a gangster in there than him. So it's like I'm gonna walk forward and just do that, and try to just beat his ass. I guess really is what it comes down to.
Where does a win put you? Because you have a win over someone in Kai Kara France who they're talking about being the next challenger, but you finished him. So, like, where do you think like a finish here over Schnell would put you?
I think a win over Schnell doesn't necessarily put me in like a favorable position to kind of call out or get a title shot or anything, which sucks because I definitely wanted to put myself in a position to do that, and that's why I wanted a quick turnaround with Schnell because I knew it's maybe not a fight that will do me necessarily favors as far as ranking goes, but I think I don't know. It just all depends on who I call out. Is whoever they're going to give the next title shot to. Is like I don't really know where they're going with the division and who gets it next. But it's like if Brandon Moreno doesn't get the next title shot, I want Moreno. I think that's a fight we need to run back. I think that's a great fight. I think it's a fun fight. It's a fan friendly fight, and it's like I could see me fighting Moreno in a main event fight or something of that sort for 5 rounds. That'd be fun, and I think the crowd would approve of that, and I think that makes sense to me anyways. I think me and him have unfinished business. My shoulder popped out while I was literally on top of the guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird scenario, but I would love to run that fight back. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that would be the most ideal matchup next for me.
Do you think France did enough to beat Askarov? That was a really close fight. Some people felt like it could have gone the other way. How did you score it?
Absolutely. Askarov is trying to hold on for dear life, man. He's like, oh, man, I hate that guy's style. Like, he's like literally the most boring fighter in the UFC. But, yeah, I thought he did. I thought all the big moments in the fight were to him, except for the first round where he was getting backpacked for a minute. Other than that, I thought he did a great job, man. It had Askarov in more danger and just all around was more of a fighter, and at a certain point kind of broke him where Askarov wasn't really shooting as much takedowns as he normally does and all that stuff and just kind of outpaced him and just did a great job, man. I thought he won that fight. And fan standpoint, it's like, who the fuck wants to see Askarov win a fight again? Like, Jesus Christ.
Okay. I like the honesty on that. Before we go, got to talk a little hockey. I know you don't pay attention that much to hockey, but the Avs, they got to be a bit on your radar. They're like a cup contender this year. They look great.
Yeah. I think all the Denver teams are looking really good this year, man. Avs, Nuggets, all the above. But it's a good year to be in Colorado right now because the teams are popping and the Avalanche are looking like they could take it all this year. So I haven't been like on top of my game, but I know that the Avs have been.
You should, and no, you haven't gone to a game yet, right? Or at least not recently.
Not in like probably years, man. Honestly.
UFC's got to hook that up though somehow. You're a UFC fighter, you're a professional athlete. It's like you see other, professional athletes at other events like UFC, for example. I'm sure they could figure something out, no?
Yeah. I always wonder how that works because, I would like at least some good seats if I'm not paid top dollars. Sitting in the nosebleeds, the Avalanche, taking pictures with fans and stuff. It's like, it makes not that, like, it doesn't really make sense.
Good for everyone, right? It kind of brings the sports together. There's physicality in both sports. It seems like hockey would be one of those easy ones to do, right? So
Yeah, exactly. It's like every time I show up to any like UFC event, when I'm not like rocking my sponsors, I'm wearing Nuggets jerseys, I'm wearing Avs jerseys. I'm trying to represent my state, bro. I'm trying to represent my people and all that stuff. So it's like, I don't know, that would be cool. And it'd just be, I don't know, it would be cool to just kind of intermix the sports, and intermix the two teams and the culture or whatever it is just I think it's good. Every time I go to a Nuggets game, I'm over here taking pictures with fans and stuff. So it's like, might as well not be doing it in the top row, like it'd be cool if I had a decent seat, so.
Get you some floor seats. Come on. It's all good. Yeah. Brandon, thanks so much for doing this. Always a pleasure. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors? I see you got the hat on, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
AP Glass has been the biggest sponsor for me since I joined the UFC. They've been helping out with everything. So big shout out to them. I wouldn't have been able to even get my surgery done and recover without having to work that whole entire time without them, man. So they've been a huge help. And I want to thank my training partner, Clay Matza, man. He's been putting in countless hours, being the most selfless teammate that he could be, man. It's been great. And then All Factor X has just been great these last couple of years and just helped me prepare for these top opponents,